What's up, everybody? So, got a new development story on the so-called allegations, and is with a big twist. And this is also "I told you so" to a bunch of people who try to tell me about the gaming community, the anime community, and all the women in the community. And when they come in the community, how they come with intentions. So I'm gonna piece together the situation that I'm gonna reveal to you, and I'm gonna reveal the female that was part of the situation, and then I'm gonna reveal it afterwards because I don't have a lot of time. So, let's see. Now, when you are by yourself, right, and you're red pill, you MGTOW, you're an incel, whatever you are. You know the truth about the world, and everybody call you insane and crazy. But what happens when you're right? Do society tell you that you're right and make it up to you? Or do society forgets that you said it, pick up what you said, and act like they said it themselves? It's funny that, to me, that 9 times out of 10, when someone is alone by themselves, saying the truth, everybody consider that person's crazy and say that person is hurt or he has mental illness and all this other stuff that they trying to paint you out to be. But the funny thing is that the only way a true messenger get out his message out to the world is if he's by himself. Everybody who's by themselves, and they've been by themselves for a long period of time, they're the true SYSBM. They're the true MGTOW. They don't need a group. It's only when you see people who have the same story as you saying that they've been out alone just like you, when you come together and say we got a genuine interest and we should work together. We should ally ourselves with each other. But one thing that I don't trust is a man who can't stick on his own, and someone who can't walk the path by himself for many years before he finds allies. Me, on the other hand, I walked the path alone, lost a lot of friends, and don't regret it at all. I like the fact that I didn't have to drag along certain people with me or be around certain people I didn't want to be around. And when I started making videos, it was just 5 views, 20 views, 30 views. Didn't get a lot of views, not at all. And I wasn't looking for a whole bunch of views. I was just looking for people to listen to see if they connect with what I had to deal with and what I had to go through and what me and everything I had to do. Was I was the only one out here who had this kind of idea and these thoughts in my head where I can express them to a video. So when you write about stuff, you know, you tend to be alone. Sometimes when you're a trailblazer or you're by yourself, people consider you crazy. Everybody look at you like you're a loony bin. And back in the day, back in the 60s and I think the 50s and the 60s, where you had crazy people who people was considered crazy, saying that the government is listening to them. The government is listening to them. The government is listening to you. The government is wiring. The government is doing experiments. The government is doing all this. And all those people was deemed crazy. Some of them was pretty much sent into a asylum. But what they seen was, this is the reason why you got a lot of crazy behind people out here in the street, and this is what never been told, is because those people was not crazy. Those people was actually legit. They was experimenting on people. We found out 50, 60 years later that they was doing that. They was listening to people, conversations. We found out 50, 60 years later. But the damage to the person that they sent into a loony bin has been done. Society is never going to thank the crazy man or the man who everybody thought was all crazy or messed up. Never going to thank him for what he did and him warning people. People just going to pick up the message and act like it was theirs. And that's the shit that burns me up. That's the shit that burns me up about general society. Because the people who was considered crazy, 50 years later, everything they said was true. But we ain't gonna make it up to them for ruining their life and calling them crazy and giving them a label. We just gonna move on with our life and act like we were the ones that discovered the fact what the crazy people were saying was true, even though we didn't believe it at first. This is the funny part. Same thing when a lot of men was telling everybody how the women have all the power, women get away with more stuff, all this other stuff, all these stats. And most people don't believe us because they benefit from it. But when it comes down to it, you got hard evidence, the only thing they can do is turn their face, turn their head and act like they didn't see what the chick did. So you're considered a pariah, and they put labels on you, but they're not going to make it up to you. This is why I don't care for people who tell me that I need a social interaction with a whole bunch of people. Because when the social interactions, when they are wrong, none of them fess up to it. None of them come up to you and apologize to what they said about you, take the label back, or make sure that they got it right next time. They always get it wrong. And society has a lot of collateral damage in their wake. And I think this is why it's a good idea to just lead society in general and let them do this shit to people who want to be a part of this shit. Because we already know they don't care about men. We already know that they think sexual assault against men is not for real and men want it. I had to stop listening to one of a guy who was red pill or seemed to be red pill. I had to stop listening to him because there was a teacher who had sex with I think 15-year-old boy, and he was congratulating it, and I said, why are you congratulating? I thought she was red pill. And he was like, you know, that's everybody's dream to do that. I said, no, it's not. I said, you're not supposed to congratulate any kid who get raped by a grown-ass woman, because that's what it is. It's rape. Because if it was the reverse, you would be not saying this. And he started taking this hypocritical route. And then I said, see, your reply and your response to this shit is going to make sure that these women do it more. And they're going to go younger. About 2 months later, 3 months later, he bring up a story about a nanny having sex with a 5-year-old boy. And I told him, I said, I told you, man, they're not going to stop because y'all giving these motherfuckers passes. But y'all never do that to men. And I'm not saying that men should do it. That's not condoning it. But I'm saying if you're going to be sitting here saying all this other stuff, you got to be fair across the board, because these allegations can get people locked up and hemmed up. I already know. I experienced it. So sometimes in society likes to groom men to be future lapdogs for women, or to groom them to pretty much make them subservient to a certain category of things. So sometimes in some cultures and some things, like in the black community, certain types of men are starved out and called names and talked about until they either become something that's unrecognizable, where it's going to get them in jail or dead, or just a lost soul begging for unity and brotherhood, even though they should have never took that position in the first place just to get women. Or they become a sex slave for women. So when you're different from everybody else, one technique that society does is shame you with majority rules. They have one person against 5, and they keep doing that until the person fold. And if the person doesn't fold, they try to move on to the next person. Now, that's one technique. First technique is introducing sex to young boys at an early age, so they can be uncontrollable. When you introduce anything that's adult related to a childlike mentality or a childlike, those people grow up in age physically, but they never grow up mentally, because they never know how to harness what they got exposed to. This is why you have a chick right now called Diamond Flawless, who just turned 18, spazzing out over a guy. This is an attractive 18-year-old who can get a good man, especially in this dating market. There's tons of simps out here. But she decides to go crazy over a pookie. Go crazy over a pookie. Right? So she go crazy over a pookie. Now, to me, it seems to me that something happened to her at a young age that she didn't mature. We all noticed that half of these dudes are pussy-minded, pussy-controlled. And a lot of these guys were sexually introduced to sex at an early age. And it fucks them up to the point where they can't get their shit together. Or they got their shit together, but they can't leave women alone. And women will always be their downfall. It ain't their fault, but when they grow up, it's their fault for not getting help to fix the problem that's been done to them. So that's one thing. Introducing certain things to the groom kids, the groom kids to do things as adult, and these people never grow up. They do 3 or 2 things. They don't have no motivations and everything else. It's a sad existence when you see it. So at one point, you have things that are groomed to people who don't understand and don't know, because they're too young to figure out the fact is that they shouldn't be experiencing none of the stuff they experience. So now you're trapped because you were groomed to do what society told you to do. So now you got people who learned, who was rare enough to snap out of that shit at an early age, like myself at 15. And there was other men who still believed the shit where they can get married, have kids, and do all this stuff, but nobody tells them the truth about the things that exist out here, the unfair advantages that certain people have. They believe all this bullshit. I lost a lot of respect for many content creators all across YouTube. And this happened within like the last 2 months, 3 months. The coronavirus actually exposed a lot of people to myself, where I look at them now and I don't really like want to watch their channels a lot, or if I do watch their channels, it's probably one video and then that's it. But I unsubscribe, so I'm just a watcher. I'm not somebody who is a subscriber no more. So 9 times out of 10 that you got a situation where kids are exposed, but boys are ignored because they need to keep the market going for boys. They need to send them to wars. They need to send them to divorce court. They need to make them pay child support. So it's obvious now that it's one-sided, and people keep trying to tell us that, you know, sexual assault happens to girls more than boys, and that's a lie. Because in the black community alone, you'll see a lot of dudes who pussy slaves and they got exposed to sexual assault. But they thought it was cool because nobody told them that it was wrong that a woman, a grown-ass woman, touched them and did funny shit to them. So, then as you grow up in age, they try to make sure that they control what you eat. They control the plate of stuff that you consume, right? They try to control who you're attracted to. And the black community is big ass and big titties. If you don't like big ass and big titties, that means you have a small dick or whatever, all this other shit that they try to put it out. So they always try to, they always trying to put what they're attracted to onto you. Even though you have your own attraction level and you have your own people that you're attracted to. But to them, this bitch is too skinny, this and this and that, she like a boy, blah, blah, blah. And they don't get it that everybody is different. But by their conditioning and all the shit that shit was imprinted into them and put into them, they think that the shit that they love, everybody should like. You hear it all the time. She has no ass to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, dude, I like her. Then they show a woman that they like, I never say anything because I'm like, it's not up to me to say what another man likes. But for them, they try to change what you eat. So imagine that every time you eat, somebody is trying to tell you what food to eat. That's how it is in society. They always try to give you a plate of food that you don't want. Or try to give you leftover food from after they're eating. Because that's what they think in their head. They was conditioned to think like that. No one can live like that where somebody else is choosing your food. Someone else tell you what you think is good. Someone else is giving you leftover food or giving you shit that you don't want. That's like the dating world. You got a whole bunch of leftover plates and everybody wants you to pick it up. And you're asking for a freshly cooked meal. But they don't think that you're good enough to get a freshly cooked meal. Some of the people in society generally think some men deserve to get food out the trash can. Because that's what they think. If you don't fit society norms, you should eat out the trash can. Because that's what you belong. That's who you belong to. They never said it to ugly girls. They never said it to fat girls. They never said that to women with autism, women with one leg, overweight women, women with bald head, women with mental illness. They never tell them to get help. They never tell them to go date down. They tell them it's pussy though. And with that kind of thinking, having sex with anything that got a big ass and big titties, now you're enabling a whole group of women to not change and think that everybody that they think should eat out the trash can, aka date the lowest type of women, everybody should date that, everybody should deal with them. This is why they don't want you to leave nowhere. Because they think that you should eat out the trash can because it still has the same principle. If you have food in the trash can, you eat it even though it don't taste good, but it still fills your stomach up. Even though you might throw it back up in the first place, right? A lot of these people, especially a lot of these women in America, are yard sale prices. But they don't realize that they yard sale prices because half of these women are used up. They single moms. They've been dating too many types of the same dudes. And they've been fucking up way too much to ever get with a guy who should even touch them, have sex with them or anything. Instead, people should ignore them, but instead, you got Ramil Lamir, ARC, and all these other people telling you to fuck these women and pump and dump them, or do some stupid shit like Mo 1 and give these women incentive to just not change. Because trust me, if everybody stopped fucking with certain types of women out here, they all will change fast as shit just to get male attention, right? But to me, a lot of these women out here think that they shouldn't be priced at yard sale prices. They should be priced like they're new, and they're not. So imagine if you go into a store. This is the dating market out here right now, right? Imagine you go to a store, right? Based off how you look, how you're dressed, you're going to get treated, and they're going to start changing the prices to you. So you go to a black chick and you say, you got a whole bunch of items. For you, it's $300. But on the sign, on all the prices, all it goes up to is $10. No, you don't have a big dick. You're not tall enough. You don't do that. So you don't deserve to walk out with these products because you don't fit what I think. So you either do that or put the items back and don't enjoy anything. That's what they say to guys who just either want sex, either want marriage, or even want something else. They always try to raise the price for you, but don't raise the price for other people. But that's black women right there, right? So black dudes, they work side by side with women. ARC, you know, Super Sly, all these other people. You walk an aisle, you go to an aisle, and you go with the guy, black guy. Nah, dog, you gotta pay $500 for all them prices. Because, dog, the chick said you should pay $300, but I think because I could fuck that chick, no, just because I could fuck that chick, she already confirmed that you're useless to us. So you gotta pay more because the chick told us that you're not worth shit. This is why black society is gynocratic or gynocentric. So you're gonna walk around and think that you should always pay a high price just to talk to people, or to be around people, just to fit into everybody's program. Because the black male and the black female will overprice you. But then you see another aisle. And you see an Asian chick. And another one. And these two tell you $10 for all items. I'ma ask you, would you go back to the black dude or the black chick? Would you ever go to that cash register ever again? Would you ever go to those two people ever again? Or would you go to the Asian and the other Asian, giving you a fair price on items that's priced at the right thing? Items that are priced right. You will go straight to the ones who price you the right way, not someone who overprice you. So this is why they don't get SYSBM. This is why they don't get MGTOW. This is why they think that when you say you don't want nothing, you're somehow gay or whatever. I had a back and forth with one of this dude online and said that he think MGTOW is gay, or guys who walk away from women is gay. So I said, dog, nobody wants broken women and none of this other stuff. Then he said, well, I just think it's gay. I'm in, what he said, pornography, whatever that shit called. And I said, okay, you into the regular one where you take care of all these women. Because I hope you're not into the version where you get to sleep with other people's wives and you just be able to benefit from the sex and not benefit from the heartache and the headache that you get. Because if that's you're talking about, then you're just one of those niggas who want other people to do your dirty work. He didn't say anything else back. And then I came back again. I said, dog, you think somebody gay because you want other men to do what you won't do is entertain these women, but you come in when you want to come in and do what you want to do. This is why guys like you are the lowest of the low. You try to call us gay, but you're a slime because you touch other people, women, without doing the work. You're a lazy ass nigga, but you want everybody else to do what you won't want to do. And when we walk away, you try to shame us into something else. And he never said anything back. And I got like 2 likes in that comment. But then I look back and I got 10. So I got him out of there. A lot of these dudes, shaming tactics doesn't work anymore. Society used the bone, give a dog a bone trick to men. They keep the bone away from you until you're happy and you see it, and you will do anything, any type of trick for it. And when you finally got the bone, you're happy as a skittle skipping around like a happy dog with bone. But what that trick does to people is it suppresses things that not supposed to be suppressed. Because the men who do it the right way, the men who don't fit into the category, the men who don't have all these fucking problems, they're told that they gotta do tricks just to get the bone. This is what the dating scene looked like when it comes down to America, where all the shelves are stocked and nobody's buying shit because they keep trying to overprice men to do shit. To buy stuff that's either used or doesn't have high quality. So, I like to introduce you to a gamer who, her name is Cinnamon. And she is a girl gamer who has a dark secret that was revealed in the upper rounds of the allegation mania that I was telling y'all about that was happening. A chick got Me Too'd. And there's a disturbing video of her kissing up and hugging up on a 12-year-old boy. Now, I want to ask everybody in the comment, and if you on this video, does this chick look like she has to do some predatory shit? Slow ass thing. Does this chick look like she has to do predatory shit? A light-skinned mixed chick who any man would love to have, but this chick goes after a 12-year-old boy when she was 22 years old. So guys like ARC and guys like all these other people say there's plenty of good women out here, but when we ask for these so-called good women's past, we're supposed to forget their past and dig in the dirt and deal with women who used to deal with little boys. Should men have to deal with should men have to deal with women who deal with little boys or used to sleep with bisexual men or used to sleep with thugs? shouldn't we just disqualify them off the bat like they disqualify men? No man is going to give a second chance if he's on video touching on a little girl like she did to this little boy. Mind you, she's relatively attractive, and why would a chick that's relatively attractive have a reputation of sexually assaulting men that don't want her in the gamer community who have standards? There's been really allegations about her, not just because she gave oral to a 12-year-old boy, that I'm going to show you that article soon. She actually forced other guys to have sex with her. On the form of, she said she was going to tell everybody that she got raped by them. Why would a chick who is relatively attractive sit back and do some predatory shit that's so-called reserved for men, right? I'll show you more pictures. I told you about these gamer chicks. I told you that these chicks come in to gamer spaces in order to get money, attention, or take advantage of men sexually in order to feel like they are above all the men in the space that they're going to. Same thing with the Jessica X situation. She comes into space spitting on people's face and doing all that shit. But as I said before, I told people about these anime girls and these fake anime girls and these fake ass chicks. I had a back and forth with a chick online, and I had a back and forth with a UK simp who told me that I don't deserve to have an anime girl who just like to have sex and play video games. I can tell the difference between a fake anime girl or a fake gamer girl than anybody, because they're shitty at games. Mind you, this is what she looks like. I'm gonna keep showing you. Any guy would think that they hit the jackpot with her. But once they find out her past, some men will allow it to show how hypocritical they are. But most men with their right mind will look at her, dump her immediately. Anime girls and gamer girls who say they like games and anime, they only do that because they want to control the sexual market in the nerd world. They want to control financial, and they want to control all the attention they want. This is why they always into cosplay. This is why they always jump to cosplay. Because they can't compete with the regular women, but they can go to a place where guys are not getting enough female attention and gain a following in that space. Now, let's go to there we go. Cinnamon. Multiple Smash personalities accused of sexual assault and misconduct. Now, let's go to a Super Smash commentator, Cinnamon, accused of having sex relations with a 14-year-old player. But the kid looked 12. So, this is it. She had this relations with this kid at 12 years old, because they mixed it up. They said 12 and 14. Oh, my bad. At 14. She had sex when he was 14 and she was 24, and it was in 2016. It was 2016. This is why it's important to pay attention to a female's past. If she slept with Pookie and Ray Ray, or slept with any type of thug or dude who sold drugs, don't fuck with her. If she got kids by a thug, don't fuck with her. If she had kids by a Pookie and a Ray Ray / nerd, don't fuck with her. Because 9 times out of 10, she has a past like this. Like I said before, when I had hackers, I seen some of the sickest shit I ever seen on some of the girls that you would probably wouldn't think would do this kind of stuff. Videotapes of them sleeping with bisexual men. They had tapes on their phone, fucking gay ass, fucking GAY best friends when they couldn't get a guy. Them sleeping with their trans friend when they couldn't find a guy on standby. And you want me to deal with these fucking women when I know that kind of shit? Trying to pass diseases on to me? Man, fuck that. So, this chick had a relationship in the summertime with a 14-year-old kid. 14 years old in 2016. Now, I'm going to show you a video. I'm gonna show you a video. Where is it? Of a guy that she convinced to marry her. So she found a very good gamer in the top of the Smash world. He's one of the top gamers in Smash Brothers and makes money playing video games. This is the bullshit that I'm talking about, of men getting taken advantage of by women like this who got a sexual predator past. But you want to have men sit back and take these kind of women up and get with these kind of women who got this kind of dark shit going on in their fucking past. See, this is why a lot of guys don't want the women here, but want the women overseas. Because at least overseas, most men will be straight with you and tell you that you're marrying a fucking thought, or marrying a chick who once did it to a dog, or did some other stuff, and they'll tell you, don't talk to her. Men in other countries actually do try to look out for brothers and look out for men, because it happened to me when a Brazilian chick that I like, someone told me that she's a serial cheater or whatever, and that's the reason why she don't have hair. So they looked out. The Brazilian people, Brazilian brother looked out. That's why I got more respect for people overseas and people other races than I have for black people. Because they'll let you marry a thought. They'll let you marry a chick who used to sleep with a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. And then they'll laugh it off. That's why nobody want to be around these niggas. But no one, she kept this from them. Mind you, this is 2017. She had an affair and did it to a 14-year-old boy in the summer of 2016. And then she tried to erase it by sleeping with the top Smash Brother player and getting married to him when they end up, I think, breaking up anyway. And when you see him on stream, she kind of looked like she's dominating him because she has leverage over him, because he knows that he's trapped in a market where he'll be used for his money, or he has to do a whole bunch of things just to do something, just to get one kiss from a girl, or just even a handhold from a girl. He got vagina from this sicko chick, but he didn't know she was a sicko chick until now. Now, I don't know if he pissed off about it, or I think I don't know. But this is me. And I found out the chick that I was about to marry end up doing some shit like this. I'll be pissed off in my mind. I'll be like, yo, this shit's some fucked up shit, man. I go straight on the internet, dog. I'm gonna have to do a background check on every chick that I dealt with, because I don't want this shit to ever happen again. This chick is sick. Is sick. I was gonna marry a pedophile. And a lot of these chicks, a lot of these guys want you to marry into or deal with these women, and pump and dump women who deal with, like, come on, man. This is why I got a problem with that pump and dump shit over here. Because they want you to try to buy in on this bullshit, but you're sleeping with women who not only slept with other people easier than they do you, they slept with all types of people and all types of things. You know, there's black chicks, white chicks, even some Asian chicks who slept with animals, but they expect you to take them on a date. This is a slack in the face of a lot of people. And this is what I've been talking about the whole time. This was what, in the beginning, when I was talking about how people thought we was crazy when we tell people that these gamer chicks are not coming in there because they like games. They come in there to actually social climb. They don't come in there because they genuinely like the medium. They only come in there just to try to see who's the best or who's good at what they're trying to use. If you good at games, they're going to latch onto you. I got a couple girls who learned a lot from me about games and then bounced. And I'm like, this is the first and last time this ever happened to me, and I ain't gonna let it happen to me again. Back then, yes, I got a couple vaginas from the gamer chicks, but at some point, it got tiring that I had to do the same song and dance, so I stopped doing it. But, at least I learned. Unlike these niggas, they still doing the same shit over and over again. Now, when Twitch girls came when these type of chicks started invading the gamer space, I knew that gaming was going to change for the worse. I knew that shit like this was going to eventually happen. So I bounced. I stopped playing games, or I stopped being a part of the community of gaming because it was too much drama-filled shit. Too much sex going on in a bad way, because these same chicks will go back and say they got me too. Half of the guys that I know either got jumped, beat up, the game stole from them, or some kind of drama they was in that didn't make social media, because they dealt with a so-called gamer chick who now not a gamer chick. Mind you, this kind of just like a Destiny FOMO. All these fake gamer girls who come in the medium just to steal attention and money and tease you with the doggy bone, but never actually give you the bone. Now, why is it that a lot of females in this day and age are going crazy, mentally ill, and they can't even find a good man because they got the looks? So if the good looking women have problems getting men and they got to go down to little boys, then what the fuck do you expect men to date these kind of women? I heard many different things. I got many different screenshots. These women are disgusting. They got mental illness. And before you tell a guy that he need to step his game up, you need to tell most of these bitches out here to step their fucking game up, to actually be normal. Like I said before, the reason why guys go SYSBM and go overseas, because at least it's presented us in a normal fashion. At least it's presented normally. I'd rather deal with women who are in normal settings than try to deal with women who are in hard settings and then find out the game is scratched the fuck up and I don't want to play this shit, or I bought the game and it's broken and I got to spend more money fixing the game than I did playing it. Or I got to spend more money. Yeah, I got to spend more money fixing the game than I did actually putting the game in and playing it. Or I spend more time waiting for it to get fixed than I do actually playing it. We got this chick right here, this blazing chick, Diamond Flawless. She going through a manic episode right now because she dealt with a Pookie and a Ray Ray. And she's going between because he damaged her or did this to her. And she going crazy. Now, if you go to Japan, none of them will act like her. Even if feminism is over in Japan, you don't see women like her. You don't see girls like her acting like her. All the Blasians that I follow, they got boyfriends and husbands. I can go right now on my Instagram and a whole bunch of Blasian chicks I'm following either got boyfriends or they hiding their boyfriend from people because they adopted some Americanized bullshit where they get attention, more attention when people know that they don't have a boyfriend. So this chick right here is very attractive because I give compliments to Blasians. She's half Asian, half black, or half Haitian. But she's a super thought. She ended up falling for a Spanish dude. He ended up damaging her to the point where now she's in the middle of the street talking about Lord Jesus and God's with me, barefooted and all this other stuff. Like I said before, man, it's better to leave the country and date somewhere like everybody else does, like I did when I went to Japan and got a fiance. When somebody I gave advice to went over to Japan and got himself a fiance now. Guys that I know who went to Brazil. All the guys that I know that I gave advice to are all either married or have somebody. and they did a thorough background check on the chick to see what kind of dudes that she dealt with. And they seen what they liked, that she ain't deal with no Pookie and Ray Ray and didn't do some sick shit, and they went on to it. But every time you do a background check on girls in America, wherever you deal with them, you find out all this dirt they have and all this fucked up shit they've been doing, from fraud to sleep with Pookie and Ray Ray, and doing sick shit like Cinnamon. And you start to realize that there's no chicks that are untouched by the bullshit. Even the so-called women that they said are good are still listening to bullshit or being around it, or listening to it in the form of music or family members or so-called friends. And you got to get yourself from it. So the whole point of this, man, video was, I was right all along. I hate being right all the time. Like, every time I go out and make videos and tell people about certain things and the shit comes true, it's like, damn, I don't want to be right all the damn time, and I don't want to be arrogant about it, but at the same time, being right feels a lot better than being wrong. I mean, there's so much shit going on, a lot of things coming out now, that by like the end of this year, everything gonna start to change. Oh yeah, I wanted to also say that one of the adult film stars named Ricky Johnson decided that he wanted to go and threaten people, said that if somebody was accused of sexual assault to an adult film star, he gonna smack him. And I'm wondering that if he knows what kind of world he exists in, where somebody will blow his head off and don't care how high profile he is, or they'll pay somebody to do it. Like, who made these dudes so arrogant enough to think that they can go smack niggas upside their head because women told them that they're this and they're that? And he don't realize that I don't care how many dangerous people you think you have around you, you smack the wrong person upside their head, they gonna smack you upside the head with a bullet. Even the toughest people got knocked off. So, wanted to say that. Also, man, I mean, there's a lot of things going on, man. And this is the reason why I said before that I kept myself out of the circulation. Because I do a background check on people. What kind of mental condition they in. If they're clean or not. I actually ask chicks when they last time they tested. Have a sexual, what's it called? Like, how long did you test it? Did you ever test for HIV and none of that stuff? And everybody says no. A lot of niggas are irresponsible out here. A lot of motherfuckers out here don't know who they fucking with until it's too late. And they don't understand that you have to have precautions nowadays. You have to, especially with these women without any kind of restrictions on them, but it's a lot of restrictions on men, that these women will walk around with the worst records and then magically somebody get with them and don't know. You know how many female serial killers that are out right now because they snitched on the person and they did the killing with, but the law was lenient on them and let them out at 50 or 60 or 40. And you want me to dig in this petri dish of fucking psycho and craziness, man? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Like I said, don't listen to these guys. All I gotta do is show evidence. These stories just keep coming up and I'm gonna keep making videos. Because the people who by themselves or sound crazy or whatever people might perceive them to be, we're the ones out here trying to tell the truth and try to save as many men possible from ever trying or about to marry a fucking female pedophile. Like this guy did. It's an L on his part. People might say that, yeah, he did good and did this stuff, because I saw it was a website called MTO, a feminist black site who made fun of the black guy, said he geeky, nerdy, and he'd be lucky to have her, and that's the best he can do and all this. Mind you, these are women who get mad when guys like the guys they just bragged about who was about to marry this pedophile, he goes with another race of women. But they got mad because she was light-skinned. Then I saw a dumb comment under there talking about there's a lot of good women that look good who would like this brother. And I'm like, well, what, without money? Or he has to do all this other stuff? Are they in gaming? Or would they like him without doing this extra shit? And would they do stuff the way he want to do? Like I said before, man, the shit keep coming out. It keeps coming and coming and coming. And I just wanted to get this story out while it was hot and fresh and not where it goes downhill, and put my take on it, because like I said before, man, I was right all along about these fake gamer girls, fake anime girls, and people who keep trying to point to them like, yeah, there's some good looking anime girls who like video games. They'll give you a chance. Just go to this event and go to this event and do this and do that. Like, you understand that now. You understand that you were wrong all along. These anime girls and gamer girls are just as fucked up and sick as the chicks who ain't into anime and games. They the same chicks. They just act like they like games so they can act like they're not the women that everybody talk about. Don't that seem familiar? Like Jessica X? Oh yeah, and I also noticed that I got less people watching me after I talked about Jessica X, or after I got into that back and forth with Jessica X. So it seems funny to me that I had a lot of views before, which I don't really care about like that. But it seemed to me that after I called out Jessica X and said all the stuff that I said into her on many chats or something, for some reason I got lower views, because now people don't like me because I talked about Jessica X. So to show them that they really wasn't red pill, they really wasn't by themselves. They was just dudes that acted like it, and they liked it, what I was talking about. But as soon as I said something that they don't like towards a woman, they got mad. But that ain't the first, won't be the last person. But yeah, told you all about these gamer chicks.